I'm Jeff Woods. This is Adi Berkovitz. It's so great to be here because there's never a bad time to shine a light on things that are really important. And this is perennially important. So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you for being a part of it.
And we have Steven Spielberg to thank, who in the 1990s started the Shoah Foundation that made this story that you've created possible.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
He assembled a team that traveled the world and interviewed over 50,000 Holocaust survivors. He knew it had to be done because these survivors were getting older, and these are stories that are very important for humanity. And surprisingly enough, my father was one of them. He got that phone call to be interviewed. He was so quiet. He never talked about the war. He didn't want to talk about it. So this was his only chance to document what he went through. And he was happy to do it, no matter how hard it was going to be for him, right? He thought it was his, like a duty to do it and to teach others, to inspire, and to share his experience. After he did the interview, I thought, wow, this is great. I can learn all about it. And I never watched it. I was too afraid. I actually watched it after he passed away. I was grieving my father a lot, and I thought maybe this would help me heal a little bit, you know?
And from that, you had an idea to take it and create a musical documentary.
Yeah, it was my way of expressing my feelings and how I felt about everything that he went through. And to me, it resonated so much as a musician that I had to create something musically to honor his legacy, to honor the story, to spread the positivity of his, survival instincts, to just get through it. He was in Auschwitz for almost a year. And my uncle, of course, they were together in the camp. In the last half of that video, he talked about how he got home. I thought it was just easy. The Allies came and they take you home, right? Not that simple. It took him 4 months to get home. And as I was watching his interview, I was visualizing these little episodes. And I started to compose music for those episodes. It was one piece of inspiration after the next. And I thought, this is incredible. He's only 15 when this was happening. So I thought the only way that I can honor his legacy and honor the story and hope to inspire others was to write a musical documentary called The Journey Home. I didn't realize that I needed to go on a journey on my own. I needed to heal, and the only way that I can heal is through music.
So this is his story.
Yeah.
This is his story of survival and perseverance. I can tell you this, there will never be a time when this work isn't really important. So congratulations and thank you. And let's start the journey. In order to avoid the liberation of prisoners in early 1945, Nazi soldiers began to quickly transfer prisoners out of the notorious death camp, Auschwitz-Birkenau. Eduard Berkovitz and his little brother Michael were among those many prisoners who were shuffled back and forth and transferred by cattle trains over the next 3 months to various camps. By April of that same year, they were transferred to their final concentration camp in Ludwigslust. This is where they were left to starve. Without food or water, Eduard heard the local Nazi commander announcing over the speakers that food was now available, and if anybody wanted to eat, they should come out of their rooms and form a line outside. The prisoners, of course, were all naturally skeptical. Eduard's remarkable and inspiring journey home starts now.
Whoever can go walk out in the line. Then again, a question to go or not to go. We stay. We saw from our door that all the group, which were of a few hundred, or I say a few thousand, they went, they left. And we stayed overnight. There was a guard constantly at the front, and there were guards all around the barbed wire with the towers and reflectors that night. And the following day, around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock or so, we see there is nobody in the tower. And we went spying in the front, and it was nobody in the front. Now that elderly guy said that we should ensemble somewhere in the middle, because if there's nobody there, maybe they're going to blow up all which is the barbed wire, which they could dynamite it all around, and then at least some of us escape if we are in the middle, because we didn't see and put nothing in there in the middle. So we assembled in the middle, a few hundred of us, and we waited, nothing happened. So when we see that nothing happened, we ventured towards the gate. There was nobody there. We went out on the gate and come back again. There was nowhere to go. So in that instance, there was 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon or so. Through the barbed wire, a strange that kind of military machine came in, and that was found out after American soldiers. And so then we gathered around him, and one of them that spoke German and English, and apparently the American soldier, he explained us that we should stay, because they are going to come with buses and take the sick people away. They're going to bring some food. It's nowhere to go because the war is still going on. There were a lot of hidden military personnel from both sides, and so we can end up they're going to watch over us, in other words. So then,
what date was that, do you remember?
That was the 5th of May, 1945.
It's wonderful that the start of this documentary is the happy ending, as it were. The first song, Liberation, suggests freedom,
Yeah.
salvation, rescue.
Right.
And yet there's a lot of uncertainty, anxiety, fear.
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, the liberation part was very intriguing to me as well, because you think, you're liberated. Okay, great. Everyone's happy. Everybody goes home, but that's not the case. There's a lot of twists. There's a lot of turns.
The anticipation for the string players in Liberation. I was just waiting with bated breath. When are they going to come in? And they came in so perfectly, and they backed away. Talk a bit about your vision of the music.
My vision really was to create this element of surprise often enough where you don't know what's expected of you. Meaning every 4 bars, every 8 bars have an element, have a surprise. Strings for me are so humbling as a section. The way it sounds, it's very warm. It could be romantic. It could also be very aggressive. So for Liberation, it was the perfect attenuation of the sounds. But I didn't want to give it out right away. I wanted to hold back on purpose. I wanted intentionally for people to ask what you just did and say, when are they coming? Oh, there they are. Oh, but they're gone again. And that's okay. That's part of the art form. Have it come in, have it go out, ebb and flow. It just depends on the emotion at the time.
It strikes me, Adi, as likely I'm a musician, not at that level, not at your level, but
You're good, you.
the inspiration they would have gotten from the story, having seen your dad's interview clip.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to talk to the musicians about the influence of the Holocaust and your dad's story?
I did. The number one thing I wanted to do was make sure that any musician I brought on would be able to resonate with the story and the purpose of the story, like the purpose of the project. It was a 10 out of 10. Everybody I talked to, they said this, I had comments like, this project is immensely moving, things like that. They were very excited about it and very excited about being creative, because I gave them free license to try things, try something new. I composed a part, but if you think that, that part seems odd, well, okay, let's try something else. No problem. They were so nice, so cordial, a joy to work with, a pure joy.
As your dad alluded in the clip that played before the song, there was so much unknown about what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
We're liberated, we're freed, and yet, how? What do we do? Are we safe yet? And you portrayed that in the way that you arranged the song and the way the players played their instruments in the song. Tell us a bit more about that.
I wanted to play at a particular tempo, but then I wanted to express the elation that they had, that there were no bombs around, and they knew that they were safe, but at the same time, they're scared because they had no idea what to do next. Okay, there's no bombs, but now what? We've got a little bit of food, but we don't know where to go. So I wanted that, tension to come across in the song that way. And that's why the intensity kind of picked up a little bit. But then when we get back into the halftime, I love halftime. I'm a big prog rock fan, so halftime is used all over the place, but it also conveys emotion because the tempos of a song can be exactly the same. But as soon as you get into halftime, it feels more relaxed. It feels slower, more gentle. And I wanted to bring that halftime in again at the end to show where the Allies were actually coming in. And then they can say, oh, now they're saying to themselves, wait a minute, we're being saved here. There's people coming to help us. But then it ends on that really odd note and a dulcimer effect at the end where, okay, you're getting help, but you still don't know what's next. I wanted to have this pull of tension, like elation and tension, because that's exactly what happened.
One song down, 12 to go. Liberation has happened, but there's question marks and anticipation. Tell us something about the song we're going to hear next.
Well, the next one is about really a discovery that my father made. And this discovery is so monumental, it changed the course of his entire journey home.